of our numerical differentiation and integration. I believe we are done with the differentiation, the two of them. And then for today, if makaya no, I will be tackling about the three rules for the integration, and then I will add the last two topic, which is the um, Euler's method and the Rangikuta. Hold on, let me put it out. Okay? So, bye-bye na ta. So, to start, okay, let's have this. Okay. Okay, that one. So, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, for this topic is for the um trapezoidal rule. This is for the differentiation. Okay, so for the trapezoidal rule, it is considered to be the simplest method of numerical integration. In this method, the value of our function of x dx, we have the integral here from limits a to b is approximated by adding the areas of series of trapezoid as shown below. Remember class, integration is just um, adding all the areas under the curve. We have here and a curve, kaning black. Okay, this block here is our curve, and then it is divided into equal portions or segments. In here, it was divided by 6. And from this point to this point, di-connect siya og line. And from this point to this point, another line, another line, another line, another line, and another line. Okay, di ba atong trapezoid class is um I don't know if I can write this here. Okay, later na lang. Okay, a trapezoid has two base, right? Natay base, base 1, base 2, and we have here our height, okay? Base 1, base 2, and that's our height here. That's for our trapezoid. In here, ang atong trapezoid is somewhat gipabarog, okay? Somewhat gipaana siya class. Okay, this picture here, mura siya gipabarog. And for that, by definition, the integral can be approximated by the function of our x dx from limit a to b is approximately just equal to the summation of all the areas under that curve, which is all the areas of our trapezoid, where I is equal to 1 to n. And from plane geometry, the area of a single trapezoid is equal to 1 half of our h, which is our height, times the sum of our two bases. So 1 half h times base 1 plus base 2, where h is the altitude and b1 and b2 are the measurement of the bases. And having those formula, one formula for a one trapezoid, okay, we have here area 1 here. Area 1, this one here, it is calculated by 1 half h, and our base here, base 1 here is yo, and our base 2 here is y1. Okay, that this one trapezoid class mo ni siya ang formula. Now for another one, kani nga trapezoid, ang iyang upper base is the y1, ang iyang lower base is the y2. Okay, muna siyang naingon ani, and so on and so forth. Muna siya. So we are just merely adding all those areas of our trapezoid under the curve. Next, now taking the sum of those areas, gisum to sila class because as per integration process, right? So we need to add all those areas sa ato ang trapezoid. Okay, now adding those, you can see there the summation of our area wherein I is from 1 to n. Gisum na na sila class. Gifilter ang mga common. And this one here, if you can see it, okay, this one here is considered the summation of our yi, wherein y is from 1 to n minus 1. Thus, the formula for the trapezoidal rule is we have here a definite integral, okay? Function of x dx from to b is approximately equal to our formula using the trapezoidal rule, h over 2, okay, from here. And you copy y sub 0 or y sub o. Do not be, thank you, sir. Okay. Y sub o. I do not be confused, klasa, if I always mention y sub o. It is always equal to y sub 0. Okay. So that's plus 2. Okay. Do not forget here, plus 2. And this one here, remember, is considered this formula. It's just a summation of our y1 or our intermediate basis. Katong mga bases nga natungan sa atong outer bases. So there are just the summation of our yi from I equals to 1 to n minus 1. And then do not forget our right outer base, y sub n, wherein our h is equal to b minus a over n. Okay, given man na si n. B is the upper limit and A is our lower limit. Okay, that's how we find the H. Next, okay, we have here an example for us to be familiar how to use the formula. Okay, determine the value of we have here a definite integral of 9x cubed minus 4x plus 3 over x dx from a limit of 1 to 6. First, we need to use the analytical method, and second is using the trapezoidal rule wherein 10 n is 10 rather. So for analytical method class, we are just merely following the rules of integration. Okay, for this one, okay, so for this one, if we have um the function of what's our function? Hold on. Yes. Okay. We have an integral of 9x cubed minus 4x plus 3 over x dx. And we have our limit of 1 to 6. So for us to do that class, our definite integral must be changed into indefinite integral. I know you can just input this to your calculator, but I want you to know and be familiar again with the rules of integration manually. Okay, so having this definite integral, di ba, ang pagbuhat is we need to integrate term by term here if we have this equation. Now, having that one, di ba, if we integrate that, mahimo man ng 9x 3 plus 1 over 3 plus 1. If you remember, minus 4 4x 1 plus 1 because 4x has an invisible um 1 na power niya, and then that's 1 plus 1. And we have here integral of our 3 over x is just the Pagawas nimo si 3. And 1 over x, integral of 1 over x is just ln of x. And don't forget the integrating constant, c. Okay, now we need to simplify this one. Okay, so 9x, 3 plus 1 is 4 over 4. Okay, minus 4x squared over 2. We can divide it. So 2x squared na lang na yung mga bilin. Ako na ikuan unya late. So copy, hold on. 3 ln of x plus c, and rewriting it again. So 2x squared na lang na yung mahabilin class plus 3 ln of x plus c. Okay, now we have here our indefinite integral already. And after this one, okay, we need to substitute our upper limit first and then minus the substituted lower limit from our equation. Okay, we have there 9, which is 6, 4 over 4 minus 2, 6, 2 plus 3 ln of 6 plus c. Okay, this one here will be minus with our 9 lower limit na the class. We're done with the um upper limit man. So 4 minus 2, 1 squared plus 3 ln of 1 plus c. Okay, 1 siya. And then calculating that, we can have the so integral of 9x cubed minus 4x plus 3 over x dx from 1 to 6 is just equal to our 249.1253. You can also calculate it class. C minus C, makancel naman na si C. And then, let us calculate it. You can also check just using the integral of your button in your calculator. You know how to input man, di ba? Class, class,
Yes, ma'am.
please. Okay. Kiba mo input.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, how about the others? How about the others? Kiba ba?
Yes, miss.
Ha? Dili klaro. Okay, this is the final answer for our analytical method. And for this one class, since analytical method man ni siya, we have our exact method and this is also our exact na value. Okay, copy?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, this one here, ano siya ang solution. Okay, pala kog screenshot class. Print screen na lang. Okay.
Mana, ma'am.
Okay. So I will be erasing this. Uh, okay. Next, we need to use it or to solve it using a trapezoidal rule. Now, for the trapezoidal rule, we have here, I already introduced the formula to you, right? So that's h over 2. H is our step, okay? Multiplied by y sub o. That's the first outer base, okay? The left outer base plus 2 times the summation of our yi. That's the basis between our outer bases and plus yn. Our yn class is the last base, the right outer base from our curve. Okay? Okay. So we need to solve the value of our h. So in here, we have our h formula b minus a over n. We have our b, our upper limit of 6 minus the lower limit of 1 divided by the given value of n, which is 10. And after calculating that, that's just 5 over 10, which is equals to 0 0.5. So we already have our h here. Nanatay h. Here, we already have our h. Next, we need to find the values of our y's. Okay, we need to find yo, y sub 0, and then all those intermediate y's or in between y's, and we need to have the value of our kinalasan nga base. Okay, to solve that, we need to use our main equation. Okay, now what are those, unsa man to nga main equation, miss? Katong, um, 9x cubed minus 4x plus 3x. Moto siya nga main equation. Minus 4x plus 3 over x. So 8 at 1 equals here. So solving the values for our yo to y10, okay? We have n as 10 man class. So magsugod tag y0 man jud. Klaro naman dyan na because we have here y0. So we need to start y0 since we have x0 here. So that's y0 until y10 because our n is equal to 10. Now we have here, okay, we have here, do not look at this first. Hold on. Okay. Do not mind this here first, okay? So if we have here an x sub o, which is equals to 1. Okay? Solving that, di ba class? Kung mag-solve taan na, mahimo man na siya. Ang sa ito yung main equation na to, we have 9x cubed. Okay? Integral. 9x cubed minus 4x plus 3 over x. Okay? Use that. Ayaw lang to i-appeal ang what I call this, ayaw lang to i-appeal ang integral nga sign. Okay? Hold on. Okay, we have to use this one. Maklaro ra kung yellow o nindot ang red nga kuan. Red na lang. Di ba? Red. Okay. So, using this at x sub o is equals to 1. So, mahimo na siyang 9, 1 cube minus 4, 1 plus 3 over 1, which is equal to 8. You just really need to substitute the value of our 1 at x 1 is equal to 1.5. Miss, ngano iyon ani ang iyang flow? Remember, ang atong limit is 1, right? Atong lower limit is 1. Lower limit is 1. Lower limit is equal to 1. And we have the step h at 0.5. So 1 plus 0.5, that's 1.5. And another zero point 0.5, so that's 2 up until maabot ka og 6. And you just need to repeat the process 1.5. Okay, that's 1.5 minus plus the 3 over 1.5, which is equal to 26.375. And so on and so forth. Hangtod maabot ta ni at x 10 is equals to 6. So 963 minus 4, 6 plus 3 over 6. So that would give us 192.5. 192.5. If you check it using your calculator, then you 1920 there. 1920.
1920 minutes.
19 okay. 1920.5. Okay? So that's just how you solve all the values of our y. Now looking at here, muna siya nga tong left part nga outermost base. Sorry. And this one here is the outermost part at the right side. Kaya remember mo sa picture sa atong trapezoidal rule, this one here is our left part nga base. And this part here is our right part nga outer base. And this one here, y1 up until sa atong example karon which is 10. So 10 is the right outer base. So 9 siya ang last nga inner. So inner is from y1 to y9. Okay, going back here. Okay. Okay, so this one here is our values of our y's. And then we need to solve the summation of our intermediate y's. I-except na to ang y sub o or ang y sub n class because those are the outermost bases. Think it ay. Those are the outermost bases. Copy. Ang imo rang isolve at unsay isam nimo ang intermediate bases or ang naa sa center nga bases. Kopya. Okay, silence means yes. Next. Okay, we have here solution. As I've told you earlier, ang ato rang isam because remember, we have this formula. Okay, na naman tay h, na natay values atong mga y. Unsa may buhaton nato sa atong mga values atong y? Okay, we need to omit from the summation ang y sub o and y sub n again because those are our outermost bases. We only need to summarize or total the bases in between those two outermost bases, which are the y sub 1 up until y sub 9. Inyo ra nang inyo ra na i-total si y sub 1, which is here, okay, 26.375 up until 1475.9205, and it would give us 4773.4943. You can also check on your end, okay? That is the summation. That is only the summation here, okay? Copy class. Here, mahimo na na siyang summation of our y1 to y9, okay? From I is equals to 1 and to 9. O pwede ra na nimo siya tangtangon. yi na lang na nimo siya. Okay, so we can have this answer here. Now, nanata ani, nanatay h, nanatay y sub o, naanatay summation sa atong in between bases, nanapod tay outermost, right outermost base nga value. Then we can have the value, we can have the approximate value of our integral using trapezoidal rule. Okay? Okay. We have there h, which is 0.5. Okay? Okay? We have here class h, 0.5 na siya. So that's 0.5. Ako lang isulat balik. Over 2, we have the value of our y sub o, which is 8. Okay? Plus 2 times the summation here. Here. The summation. Unsa mato nga summation, which is kani 4773.4943, right? Plus y sub n, which is the right outermost base, which is this one, the 1920.5, and that would give us 2628 to 2868.8722. Okay, that's our value for the trapezoidal rule, and comparing it to our um analytical na to class has a value of 2849.1253. 'Di ba? Sa analytical is naatay 2849.1253 nga exact value, right? True value from our analytical method. So there is a somewhat slight difference from our trapezoidal rule. So naa siya makita nga, naa siya visible nga error. Okay, nakasabot ba sa ato ang trapezoidal rule?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, next we have the Simpson's one-third rule. It is a more accurate way to approximate the definite integral. In here, the three consecutive points are connected by a parabolic arc. Now, before class, if you remember sa ato ang trapezoidal rule, ang ato ang curve, okay? Ang ato ang curve kay gi what do you call this? Gi-divide two equal parts, and there they are connected by a line. In here, using Simpson's one-third rule, they are not connected by a line. They are connected by a parabolic arc. Okay, in here class, di ba, connected into six equal segments or parts man ang katuang trapezoid na to, right? In here, it is only three. From the name itself, one-third, we have one whole curve here divided into three, so that's one-third. Okay, and this here is connected by a parabolic arc. Dili na na siya straight line. Okay, copy class.
Yes, ma'am.
Naa siya'y difference sa atong trapezoidal rule. Okay, in here, okay, so the area of each segment it's the same for our trapezoidal rule, but for our area point having it from point 0 to 2. Nay, nangita na ko, sir? From area, from our 0 to 2 here, class, 0 to 2 here, okay? Y sub 0 to Y sub 2, that's area point 0 to 2. We have H over 3 because that's one-third. H times 1 is just H over 3. And then we have here sa iyang formula. Basis sa iyang formula because we are doing the parabolic arc. And remember, when we're doing integration, it's just the area under the curve. You need to add those, okay? After adding, mo na ni siya left, okay? We have h over 3, y sub o, which is the left outermost base, plus 4. And this one here is the summation of our add nga base. Yes, add 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. Okay, that's just the summation of our odd nga bases. And in here, that's plus 2, and that's the summation of our even bases. Katutong na sa center nga bases ka sa dili niyo i-appeal ang left outer base and right outermost base because lahi na siya. Okay, that's y sub o and y sub n. Now for the formula of our odd in between bases, we have here summation of our y to I minus 1, wherein y is from 1 to n over 2. Now, for our even, that's the summation of y to I from I equals to 1 to n over 2 minus 1. And thus, having this formula, we have the Simpson's one-third rule formula. Okay, h over 3, that's from the one-third rule. The left outermost base plus 4 here. It comes from here. 4 times the summation of this odd intermediate bases. This is the formula. Base also here. Bakit na pa mo cursor red nga pointer na ko class?
Kita lang, ma'am.
Okay. Plus 2 from here. Plus 2. And the formula for the summation of our even in between bases here, kupera, and we don't forget the y sub n. So that's the formula for the Simpson's one-third rule, wherein h is still equal to b minus a. That's upper limit minus lower limit divided by n. And note for this method class, for the Simpson's one-third rule, n must be even. Okay? Not like sa ato ang trapezoidal rule, we are given any numbers man. Okay, it can be odd, it can be even. Now for this Simpson's one-third rule, it is for the even number for letter n. Okay, now for us to be familiar with the formula, okay, using analytical method and using the Simpson's one-third rule where n is equals to 10, okay, determine the value of our 9, still definite integral. Ako nang gigamit kanina. 9x cubed minus 4x plus 3 over x dx from limit 1 to 6. And we need to use both the analytical and using the Simpson's one-third rule where n equals 10. Now, for analytical method class, it's the same for the trapezoidal rule because for analytical method, we are just following the basic rule for integration. Okay, now for analytical, so wait, for analytical, the value of our um, indefinite, definite rather, definite integral limit from 1 to 6 is just equal to 2849.1253. That's for the analytical solution. It's the same all throughout because we are just merely following the basic rules of integration. Now for the Simpsons rule, okay, for the Simpsons rule class, okay, we have here, oh, wala na ako makati. Okay, so we need to have this equation man. Hold on. You wasn't just didn't even sober, I'm a thing concerned. Surrender you. Hindi ko alam. Sorry. Can you see my screen, class? Okay, so for analytical method class, we have that one. Okay, it's still the same for trapezoidal. And for the Simpson's one-third rule, okay, we have here. So for the Simpson's one-third rule class, remember we have the formula. Okay, sa katong naka-screenshot. Okay, we have the formula, main formula, pen. Okay, we have the main formula of h over 3, okay, yo plus 4, and the summation of our odd I is equals to 1 and over 2 y 2I minus 1 and plus 2 times the summation of our even 2 minus 1 y2 I, and don't forget the right outermost base. So that one. So we need to solve first h, right? So for h, we still have the same formula, but we need to be careful for our n. N should be even, and n is given here as 10, and 10 is even. So it's the same earlier na step size, which is 0.5. Okay, and we still have the same values for our y's or yi from 0 to 10. That one there, inyo ra gihapon ang i-substitute. Gikan ni siya, kani class, from 9x cubed minus 4x plus 3 over x. I-substitute na nyo si x here, 1, 1.5, 2, 2.5, 3, up until 6. Ano ganing inana siya? Because we have the step size of 1.5. Okay? Ada na na siya 1.5. Hantod maabot mo og 6. And you can get this values. Okay? Now next, okay, we need to solve for our summation of our add and even nga yi or in between bases. So for the summation of the odd, unsa to mga odd between 0 to 10. So that's just 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9. Those 5 kabuok. Inyo ra ni siya i-add class. There. Inyo ra ni i-add si 1, kani 26375. Next nga add is y3. Next nga add is y5. Next nga add is y7. Next nga add is y9. Inyo ra na siya i-add, inyo ra na siya i-total, then that's the total of our add here. Yeah, plus 2 times the total for the even in between bases. Ang even from 0 to 10, that's 2, 4, 6, 8. Dili niyo i-apply si 10 because 10 is y sub n. That's the right outermost base. So after nimo na total si y2, y4, y6, o y8, then you can go ahead and proceed with the Simpson's rule of integration. There. You have the total for the odd of 2809.6443 and for the even of 1963.85, and substituting all those achieved nga mga values, we can have here h is 0.5. Here class, h is 0.5 over 3. Yo nato is the Kanimo ni siya yo na to. And this is our yn. Kinalasan. Yo is kinaunhan, left part, and y10 is the right part nga base. Okay, so yo is 8 plus 4, the summation of our odd, this one here, plus 2 times the summation of our even, plus yn, which is y sub 10, which is 1920.5. And calculating that, that would give us 2849.1295. Ka-follow ra class?
Yes, ma'am.
How about the others?
Yes, ma'am.
How about sa mga girls? Girls?
Follow lang.
Yes? Ano naman, miss? Thank you, miss. Okay, do you have any questions with Simpson's one-third rule? Kung wala class, proceed ka sa 3-8. Okay? So the general formula for our 3-8 Simpson's 3-8 rule is 3H. Okay? So 3 over 8 times H. So that's just 3H over 8 because we are on Simpson's 3-8 rule. Kung one-third na siya, that's just H over 3. Okay, 3-8 naman ta. So that's 3H over 8. And we have here the left outermost base plus 3 times the summation of our yi. This one here, class, is the summation of um, all the, I forgot the word, in between. I always forget that. Okay, this is just the summation of our in between bases minus the summation of the y's that are multiple of 3. Ako na explain later. Okay, plus yn. Yn is the right outermost base. And in here, h must be a multiple of 3. H rather. N must be a multiple of 3. Unsa man to siya mga multiple of 3? 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, 30, or all numbers that are divisible by 3. Muna siya multiple of 3, class. Kopya. Now, in here, we have the formula for the summation of our in-between bases. Okay? Representation na siya, class. Ay lang mo kadlok na nga summation. Okay. So, for the multiple of 3 summation, so that's just summation of y3i from I equals to 1 to n over 3 minus 1. Okay, now for us to have or be familiar with the 3-8 rule. Okay, we have here using analytical method and also the 3-8 rule where n is equals to 12, and of course 12 is a multiple of 3. It is always 12 is a multiple of 3 because it is also divisible by 3. So we are using the same definite integral, 9x cubed minus 4x plus 3 over x. Okay, okay, we have formula again. I will write it. Mhm. We have the formula of 3h over 8. Okay, y0 plus 3 summation of our yi. These are the in-between bases. Okay, from n minus 1 and minus the summation of our y3i, where I is equal to 1 and over 3. Sakto ba? N over 2? Over 3. N over 3. Okay. N over 3 minus 1 because that's multiple of 3. And don't forget the yn, the right outermost base. So we need to find the h first. Okay, so for finding the h, we have here, okay, b minus a over n, that's 6 minus 1, 6 divided by 12, 6 divided by 12, 5 divided by 12, that's 0.4167. Okay, and that's the step for every number. Hantun mabot ka sa 6. So 1, okay, plus 0.4167, mahimo na siyang 1.4167 plus 0.4167, mahimo na siya yun ani, plus 0.4167, mahimo na ni, until magsige ra mo og add until mabot mo sa kinalasan which is the 6. And after that, nakuha na ninyo si x. You need to solve it using our definite integral, our integrand. Okay, minus 4x plus 3 over x. You just need to substitute the values of our x here. Okay, from x0 to x12 because our n is equals to 12 already. Okay, after that, eventually, makaabot mo ani 1920.5. And our y sub o, which is the left outermost base, and y sub 12 is the right outermost base. That's our y12. Next, we need to solve our summation of in between bases and the multiple of 3. Now, for the in between bases class, di ba, it's 0 to 12. So, in between ano nilang duha, that's 1 to 11. Inyo ra jud to siyang kopyahon tanan nga mga values, you need to total them and eventually makakuha mo og 5906.5627 nga sum. Okay, inana ra jud na siya class. That's just the process class. Ang kanang summation, di na jud mo mahadlok ana because it's just for representation. Okay, next, nakuha naman na to ang total sa in-between bases. We need to find next the total of our multiple of 3 between 0 to 12. Between 0 to 12 kasi dili siya na niya apilon pag total ang katong two outermost bases. So the multiple of 3 between 0 to 12 is just 3, 6, and 9. Do not include 12. Okay, si 12 kay outermost base man siya. So inyo tong kuhaan unsay value sa 3, y3, y6, and y9, which is in here. Okay, this one here, y3, y3, y6, and y9. You just need to add them up. Okay, and eventually, makakuha mo og 1413.7596. Right? Then kompleto na ang ato ang formula, values para sa formula. Then the approximate value for the integral using Simpson's 3/8 rule is we have this formula, right? We have this formula. We already have our h, we already have our y sub 0 or y sub o, we already have the summation of our in between bases. We already have the sum of our or summation of our multiple of 3 between 0 to 12, and we already have our y sub n, which is the right outermost base, which is y sub 12. And substituting all those values that we acquire to our formula, eventually we can have this, okay? 3 over 8 Okay, or 3 times 5 over 12. Okay, i-times nimo og 8 and times the quantity or sulod sa kaning yo plus 3. Okay, kung nakasunod mo, okay, 8 yo is 8 plus 3 times the summation of in between bases, which is this one, minus the summation of our multiple of 3, which is this one, plus y sub n, or our right outermost base, which is the 1920.5. And eventually, you can get a sum of 2849.1295. Nakuha ra class. Class? Do I still have students?
Yes, ma'am. Prayer lagi sa
Wala rin, miss.
no? One third.
Come again?
Ang answer ba? Prayer sa one third.
Yes. Pareha ra ba? Let me see. Yes, 1295. Lahi lang siya process and it has the same what I call this value. Okay, because there are some analysis nga dili siya applicable sa one third. So they're gonna use 3/8. But eventually makuha ra nimo ang the same value. Because there are sometimes if you involve very very small values and complicated analysis, dili makahandle si one third. Mo tong ato ihapak ni 3/8. The same way, other way around din. Okay. Nakasabot ra ba mo sa numerical integration nga mga topics? Kas?
Yes, ma'am, sa Batra.
How about the others?
So far, yes, yes.
Sa uban. Kas? Sabot ra ba?
Sa Butra, miss.
Sa uban. Mga babae. Kas? Nakasabot ra ba? Okay. So for another topic class, it's for the ordinary differential equation or the what we call the ODE. Okay, for numerical methods. Now this one, nangit ko og way class ba nga dali ra gani siya. Same sa atong table-table. Kato akong gihatag sa inyo ha. Nangita ko og reference sa YouTube, which is kanang dali ra siya pangitaon or dali ra siya pangitaon, dali ra siya gamiton. So I have here a video. Di na ko i-play ang iyang audio. Nara ko i-skip nga part. Okay? And kung i-explain sa inyo ha. Okay? Be, para nako class is just the analyzation and the use of calculator o bansay ang pag-focus na ay focus. Let me try to Kana class, maklaro ra ba? Klaro, yes.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am. Klaro naman.
Okay. So for this one class, so mag-focus ta for ordinary differential equation. Daghan ni siyang topic ang ODE class. Grabe gyud daghana sa kanali. But I will be nitpicking just two. Okay. It's the Euler or I don't know saan pag-pronounce sa uban. For us before, that's Euler method or Euler ba to ilahang pag-pronounce. So let's start first for the ODE. Okay? So ODE, do not mind kani iyang gipang sulat-sulat klasa. Sunda lang ako ang gi what you call this, pang mention. Okay, so for ordinary differential equation or the DE, it is a differential equation containing one or more functions of one dependent variable and the derivative of those functions. So basically, class, ang ODE na usa ka dependent and na usa ka independent variable. For example, we have this one for d cubed y over dx cubed plus 3x dy over dx minus y is equals to 0. Okay? The y here, class, is our dependent and the x here is our independent. Because y here, anong dependent say y ni x? Because we are um, different, we are using ODE to differentiate y in terms of our x. So magdepende si y ni x. That's for our ODE. That's ordinary differential equation. Now next, ODE has some applications which I believe you mentioned to me before nga wala ninyo na caught up or not one. It's for the population growth, wherein the differential of our population with respect to time is just equal to Kp, and it also has another application which is Newton's law of cooling, which is the differential of our theta with respect to our time. Theta is the temp class, and that's equal to the negative k multiplied by the theta minus theta sub O. Thank you. That's theta sub O. Okay. Okay. Now in here, so numerical solution for ODE class, it's also a process for solving IVP or the initial value problem. And ordinary differential equations together with an initial condition of the form. We have here dx over dy, dy rather, nabali. dy over dx is just equal to our y prime, right? If you remember, kung ano ninyo gilabay, inyong knowledge for ODE. So that's y prime is equals to the function of our x and y points. And given y of A is equals to N. Okay, we have here the initial condition, the Y of A equals N. Now, for example of the initial value problem for ODE, if we have the Y prime, uh, where dy over dx 2y plus 6 at x is equals to 1 at y is equals to 1.1. So ma-multiply na siya, class. Ato I try. So, okay. So we have here the dy over dx. That's 2y plus 6 at y is equals to 1.1. It is equal to where's my paper? Hold on. Okay. For the methods class, I will explain that more later, okay? For the methods, we have the Euler and the Rangi-Kuta method. And the solution in here class, ang makuha yun na to is approximate values gihapon. So, to have an example, okay? By the way, before I proceed, for the Euler method, it is the first order numerical method and it is the most basic. For the step size h, if we decrease our step size, it improves the accuracy of Euler's method. However, it requires more step kay magkagamay naman ang atong step. For example, we have a step of um, from our main step of 1.5 atong I mean point five nga step atong gi-decrease into point 2. So imbes 1.5, 2, 2.5, mahimo na siyang 1, 1.2, 1.4 magkagamay, mag-require na siya og more step. Mas daghan ka og i-solve. But ang pro ani niya is naa siya'y improvements accuracy, wherein for a larger step size, from point 0.5, himo na to 1, so that's just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's one step size, for example. Therefore, mas daghan ta og window for inaccuracy. Muna siya step size here. And for the Euler's method class, naa siya main equation or formula nga y sub I plus 1 of x is just equal to y sub I plus h y sub I prime, wherein our I um, runs from 0 to um, 0, 1, 2, 3, and so on and so forth. Now, to solve an example, okay, we have here, okay, find the approximate solution of our IVP. Now, for that class, ako na siyang sulat-sulatan kung makasulat. Hold on. Okay, so we have here an example class. Find the approximate solution of the initial value IVB, initial value problem. So we have the dy over dx, which is equal to 3x squared y, wherein we have here y1, y of 1 is equal to 2. Unsa man ay meaning ana miss? Okay, if we have our x at 1.3, okay, and we have our h at 0.1, okay, magsulat ko class. Okay, so we have I here from 0, 1, 2, and 3. So we have x of I. So if we have for 1, because this is our starting point, okay, x sub o, if 1, so our y sub o is 2 here. Ka-follow ra mo class? So we have ato lang ni isulat. Given man na siya class. So yi and y prime. Okay, find the approximate solution. So since we need to find this, we need to find the yi of our IVP here. We need to find this one. Okay, now using Euler's method, natay given here at x sub o and y sub o. So 2, then we can find then our y sub o prime. Okay, here, y sub o prime. Ang pagkuha ni y sub o prime class is in here. If we have our x sub o at 1, y sub o at 2, therefore, y sub o prime, y sub o prime, ang formula is just the 3, ako lang isulat ha, para di ta maglibog, x squared, ano yung nakita na ko? Okay. So that's 3 unsay x class, 1, right? Unsay y, 2, which is equal to 1 squared is 1 times 3, that's 3 times 2, that's 6. So y sub o na to is 6. Kopya. Class. Now we have our step at 0.1. So 1 plus 0.1, that's 1.01. Kakuha na mo, class.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, miss.
Wait, class, sanay nang you're late. Imo pa pindong mana? Sige. Dere lang. Sorry, class. Nay nang ito. Okay, since we have our x1, okay, at 1.1, we need to find our y1, right? In finding our y1 class, we have this formula. That's y I, okay, yi plus h yi prime. Ang mahitabuan na class, ang meaning anang yi is unsay iyang previous. Unsay previous sa y1? Y0, right? Plus h, unsay previous sa yi prime. That's yo prime. Okay? Follow? Follow ra class? Uy,
Excuse me, ma'am. Did they have 1.1 on?
nasa?
And as a
1.1. Sorry.
table.
Sorry. Eraser. Okay. 1.1. Okay. Now, in finding x1 class, we have already, in finding y1, we already have the value of our x1, which is 1.1. Now, in finding y1, ang atong gamiton class are the previous values, which is this one. Okay, we need to use y1, y0, I mean, because we are finding y1. Okay, so y0 plus h times y0 prime. Okay, now what is our y0? 2, right? What's our h? 0.1. What's our yo prime? That's 6. Solving that, we can have 2.6. 6. This is zero point 0.6 plus 2, that's 2.6. So we already have here 2.6. Now in finding our um, y1, y1 prime, okay? So y1 prime is, you just need to substitute this one. 3x squared y, 3. What's our value? X, that's 1.1 squared times 2.6. Okay, so solving calculator 1.1, 2.6. So we have 9.438. We already have this too. Okay, so ato na ibutang diri 9.438. Now we need to find our y2. So in here, that's 1.1 plus zero point 0.1, so that's 1.2. So having x2 at 1.2, so we need to find our y2. In finding our y2, gamito na to ang previous nga y, which is y1 plus h y1 prime. Okay, so y1 is y1 class is 2.6. 2.6 plus 0.1, y prime is 9.438. So this would give us 3.5438. Muna siya itong y2. 3.5438. Now we need to find our y2 prime. In finding our y2 prime, so that's just 3 times values atong x, which is 1.2 here. We need to square it times our y2, which is 3.5438. And this would give us 15.3092. 15.030. Next, this is 1.3 because 1.2 plus 0.1, that's 1.3. We need to find our y3. So at x3 is equals to 1.3, y2, again, we need to use the y's at the previous. So that's y1, 3. Sorry, y2 plus hy2 prime. Our y2 is 3.5438 plus 0.1 times our um what's our y2 prime? 15.3092. So this is 5.0747, and our y3 prime. So y3 prime, so 3 times our x, which is 1.3 squared y. Y na to class is 5.0747. So this would give us 25.7287. Yes, 7. So the approximate solution for our yi class is this one. Okay? And for the Um, differential, after differentiating, we can have the y3 prime, which is 25.7287. Ka-follow ra mo class. It's just substitution. Ka-follow ra ba mo sa Euler's method or Euler's method? Sa uban. Oo, kadungog og babae nga tingog lagi ron. Naba ko'y babae diri nga estudyante present? Yes. Ka-follow ra ba?
Sabot ra, ma'am.
Yes,
Sabot.
ma'am.
Sabot ra, miss.
Okay. Saan din yung mga babae na Koreay? Suwan, Lucero, Tuto, Carbos.
Follow ra, ma'am.
Miss, kaklase pog ko. Okay, kasabot ra.
Yes, ma'am.
Sabot ra, miss.
Okay. Hold on. Nagbiyahe? Where? Okay. Can you hear me, class?
Yes, miss.
Hello. Okay. So for the Rangi-Kota method, it is fourth order approximation, and it has better accuracy than our Euler's method. Okay, because for Euler's method test, it's just first order approximation. Now for the Rangi-Kota method, it has a fourth order approximation. Magkataas imong order, magkataas pa ng imong accuracy. It's the same idea for our finite difference method, right? Magkataas imong order, magkataas pa ng imong accuracy. You remember? Bago pa tagal ko na to, okay. Now in here, Euler's method require only one function evaluation because I already said that it is only first order approximation, and RK Runge-Kutta method has four steps that uses lower order methods for approximation. We have K1, K2, K3, and K4. For K1, it has a formula of HF. We have the points for our X and Y, and for K2, HF. But for the points of our X and Y, si X point kay makita using this formula, and Y is using this formula wherein yi plus k1 over 2. Magdepende siya sa value sa k1 here. For our k3, it's the same for our x, but atong y nga point is ang k2 siya. Here, magdepende siya sa value sa atong k2. Okay? Now, for k4, wala na siya 2. Okay? Because this is the last order approximation. So this is h4 xi plus h, and for our y point is just yi plus k over k3 rather. So we have here an example solution. Thank you. Of our um initial value problem. Okay, we still have the same what do you call this? We still have the same set of equation. Okay, dy over dx that is equal to 3x squared y, wherein our x sub 0 is uh 1, and our y sub 0 is 2. Okay. Let me write it here. Maklaro na ninyo, class. 1, 2, 3. And still we have the same steps. So, ako na lang isulat. 1.2, 1.3, and y sub o is 2. Okay, so that's our y sub 2. Now in finding our k1 has a formula. Okay, h f x I y I. So k1 is just h is 0.1, the function of our 1 and 2, right? We have here 1 as our x, and y sub 0 is our 2. Okay. Now using that, asam na mo siya um substitute. You just need to substitute that on the main equation here. So 3x squared y. So 3, what's our x? 1 squared. What's our y? Plus, that's 2. Are you still with me? Plus,
Yes, miss.
So this is equals to 6. But our K1 is equals to 0.1 times 6. Our function of F1 of 2 is equals to 6. So that's 0.6. 0.6. Copy. For our K2, for our K2 here, we have the formula of HF sa babaw, XI plus H over 2, YI plus K1 over 2. K2 is 0.1 times the function of our xi plus h over 2. What's our xi? Ang atong gamiton class kay ang xi nga 0. Unsay atong gi-solve still? Asa man cursor? 'Di ba? We are still solving this part. So this is 1 plus what's our h? Over 2. What's our yi? That's 2. Ari ta mag-focus diri nga part kaninay arrow. Plus, what's our K1? 0.6 over 2. In solving this one, wala na ako mas-solve. That's 0.1. 0.1 function of 1 plus. So that's 1.05. And the other one is 2.3. 2.6 divided by 2.3. So 2.3. And using this, inyo ni siyang i-substitute ni 3x squared y. So 0.1, okay, function of ayun na ba na yung function? So that's just 3 times what's our x again? 1.05 squared. What's our y? That's 2.3. Okay. Palihog ko calcu. 7.60 times 0.1. Okay. This is 0.7607 for our K2. Pareha ba tag answer class? For our K3, for our K3, that's HF XI plus H2 YI plus K2 over 2. Okay. For K3, H is 0.1. Function of our XI. Atong XI is still 1. Okay. 1 plus H is 0.1 over 2. YI is 2 plus K2 is 0.7607 over 2. So this would become function of 0.1 divided by 2.05 plus 1, that's 1.05. And 2 plus 0.7607 over 2. 3, 2.3804. Okay. That's our function. And then you need to substitute it to 3x squared y. Okay, so K3 equals 0.1 3 times x, which is 1.05 squared, 2.3804. Okay,
7873,
multiply
miss.
7873,
Yes, miss.
7873. Okay, we already have our K3. Now let's proceed to our K4. Okay, now for our K4, we have HF xi plus h yi K3. Okay, so for K4, 0.1 function of our xi, which is 1 plus 0.1, 2 plus 0.7873. So K4, 0.1, 3 times, this one here is 1.1 and squared times 2.07, oh, sayo, 2.7873, and this one is 1.0118. Okay, we already have our K4. Ay, sulat pa rin. Do you have any question, class? Class, do you have any question?
None so far, miss.
Okay. Since you don't have any question, class, okay, I will make this uh I123 as your activity. Para na tayo. What do you call this? Output. Okay. This is kapila na yung activity. Kapila na yung activity, class.
Murag activity 2 for finals, miss.
Sige. So you just do the rest here. Okay. 1, 2, 3, the same size of paper. And ipass na ninyo siya next week. Next meeting. And by the way, class, for next meeting, if you have foot map, pala kung dala foot map, kung dili ta mag foot map, manglimpyo lang taig human.
Makasod na mi, miss.
Apa mo kasudi ay? Ay, wala hindi
Wala
mo
pa.
last eh. Yes. Oh, makagamit na sa ComLab. Last week nakagamit na ang ubang students sa ComLab. Okay, para kasud tan magkuan ta og Foot map. Copy.
Okay, miss.
Yes, ma'am.
I will be sending this journal. Ang tawag dito? Export ODE. Okay, I will be sending that one to our GC class ha. Do you have any question?
Anong mag-unsa kita next week, ma'am? Like, mag-exam na ta, ma'am?
Yes. Finals.
Thank you, ma'am.
Sige, dili raman ang atong topic class kay katong lima ka buok sa numerical differentiation and integration lima. Di raman kay nakutaason. You just really need to follow the process. I will be providing the table man, di ba? I already told you that. And also, the last two topic, the Eulers and the Rangikuta. Kopya. Plus,
Miss.
Yes,
Yes, ma'am.
ma'am.
okay. Okay, nag-send na ko sa PDF. Ma-open na ba ninyo ang PDF, class? Class, ma-open
Yes,
na ba
ma'am.
ninyo?
Open na, ma'am.
Sige, sige, sige. Thank you, thank you. So, if you don't have any question, class, kindly turn on your camera. Let's do a quick screenshot. Okay. Jamaica, Ruvik, Rex, Kervin, Kenneth, Lawrence, Miles.